All right, everyone. Is everyone's levels good? We're waiting on one more speaker, but she's walking up right now. So I'm just going to introduce everyone that's here today and then kind of do a rundown of who's going to be speaking. So we have with us our Superintendent Paul Cruz, our Board President Geronimo Rodriguez, our Board Vice President Cindy Anderson, Secretary Amber Ellens, Trustees Ann Tyke, Kristen Ashe, Yasmin Wagner, and Jamie Mathias. We also have with us Lynn Boswell from the ACPTA, Adrian Williams from AAPSA, Ken Zarafis from Education Austin, and we have Felicia Pena coming up from HEB. She's their Public Affairs Manager. So once we have everyone set, we'll get started with Dr. Cruz, with President Rodriguez, and then with Dr. Cruz, ACPTA President Lynn Boswell, and then HEB will give a statement. Okay. Do you want to get started?
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. I just want to thank Lynn Boswell, Adrian, and Ken Zafaris for being here with us from our Seraphists, who are here with our community. And I'll make a brief statement after Dr. Cruz and a few others speak, but I want to welcome up Dr. Cruz, our Superintendent for Austin Independent School District.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today. And just, of course, mark the point that, of course, student safety is really important to us. We all know right now we're in a time of uncertainty, but we want to bring certainty, and we want to work with families, our students, and our staff members in the best way we know how to make sure that they know we're going to take care of them as we do. There are certain issues that are going on throughout our country and our state regarding COVID-19. There are a city ordinance that's come in place that we need to make sure that we are aware of and in compliance with, and we're going to need time to do that. So for the safety of our students, staff, and families, and to prepare for the expectations around the city's ordinance and making sure that everyone is safe, Austin ISD will be closed for students Monday, March 23rd to April 3rd, which is a Friday. So again, Austin ISD will cancel all classes from Monday, March 23rd through Friday, April 3rd. We will not have classes during that time. I do want to just make sure that we're clear that for parents and for guardians and family members, that it may go longer. But at this time, we have no classes for 2 weeks. I want to make sure, because we don't know what will come within a few days or within a week. I want to make sure that families know and our staff members know we may have to prepare for a longer period of time. Teachers and staff members, you are on my mind as well, all our minds, to make sure that you're safe. We want to make sure that on March 23rd, before that time, you will receive information about telework opportunities and to be available. Now, that does not mean to come to work, to come to the facility. It does not mean that. What that means is to be available beginning March 23rd, which is the day that we would typically come back from spring break. Spring break will end, and then we begin March 23rd. I want staff members to be available on that day. We will have modified work schedules, but within this, we want to make sure we're going to continue to feed our students and our families, and we have to work through some of these issues. But beginning March 23rd, it'll be a modified work schedule, but all of our staff members will receive specific information about that modified work schedule. I do also want to let the Austin community know that our board was very proactive. They passed a resolution this past Friday, making sure that all employees will continue to be paid. I want to say that again. The board passed a resolution to ensure that all employees will continue to be paid. That's one of the key points of that resolution, is that we know that our staff members can't come to work. We want to make sure that they feel safe in coming to work, and they need to have an income. We want to make sure that that continues and that folks know that. We also want to make sure, and part of this resolution that the board passed, is to then purchase supplies and materials that are going to be necessary to operate our schools. Also, they passed a resolution to make sure we have opportunities around ongoing learning, distance learning, or continuous learning. And we need to figure out that approach and that process. Austin ISD Food Services will prepare and provide meals at several sites, and that's breakfast and lunch. So typically every day for Austin ISD, we serve about 75,000 meals every day. That's just the regular schedule. We're going to try to see as much as we can provide lunch and breakfast to our students who depend on lunch and breakfast every single day. And our staff members have been working since this past week to make sure that we continue to provide nutrition for our students. We are in daily communication with local health authorities, city leadership, and the Texas Education Agency to make decisions in the best interest of our students, our staff, and our families. Every day we have a call with our Commissioner of Education by saying we, that's superintendents in the state, so that he's providing update information to us around what's going on in the state. I've also been in communication regularly with the superintendents in our surrounding districts. We have been working over the past few days to align our schedules. We know that many of our staff members work in each other's districts, students may be in each other's districts, and we're working to align our schedules as well. And I do want to thank my colleague superintendents for working together through this process, understanding that each one of us has a very different we have different communities, but we all care about our kids and our staff, and so we're working together to align our schedules. Please know that I do not take these decisions very lightly. It takes time. And when I look at an organization with 81,000 students and meeting their needs every day with a workforce of over 12,000 at 129 sites, I can't just make a split decision. I have to think about every youngster, every family, and the impact that that means when we cancel classes. In this situation for 2 weeks, it's pretty significant. I get it. I do. But we're in constant communication with our health experts and also with city leadership and county to make sure we're making the best decisions for our students and for our families. For the latest updates, please be sure to log on to the Austin ISD website, where you will find information about health and safety, information that I've shared today, and information that I may share later on tonight and tomorrow and the next day. And we're going to try to get as much information out to our staff and to our families. Please make sure that that website will have the latest information for you. I do want to thank you for your time, and at this point, I welcome our president of our board, Geronimo Rodriguez.
Did you want Lynn to come up or after?
We can do either one.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank the superintendent and all of the staff for all the hard work that they've done in planning and making sure that we are addressing the health emergency that we have. I just wanted to read a quick statement. The AISD Board of Trustees and Dr. Cruz have the responsibility to act while our actions can have the greatest impact. That means we must act now to protect our students, teachers, staff, and their families, and the wider community from this public health risk. Each of us across our school district has an obligation to keep ourselves safe with social distancing, and especially to protect the most vulnerable members of our community. And we recognize that our actions are a real burden for many students, families, and communities. Social distancing is a challenge as human beings because we're naturally social beings. We know many in our community face vulnerabilities in our society, and that there is structural and social inequity in social distancing. And I'm really proud of our ISD team, our board, our superintendent, our staff, for taking steps to bolster our AISD community response to students and their families who face food insecurity, homelessness, domestic violence, housing challenges, and those that are medically fragile. Together, as Austin's public school district, we will rise up to the challenge and address the needs as they come up. And lastly, by making this announcement now, our hope is that parents, teachers, and our staff can plan ahead, protect themselves, their families, and proactively be a part of reducing the spread of COVID-19. And as Dr. Cruz said, and we can't say it enough, daily updates can be found at our austinisd.org website, which is austinisd.org/student health coronavirus. We have one other speaker, or no, two more speakers, and I want to ask Lynn Boswell, the president of ACPTA, the Austin Council of PTAs, to come up and say a few words.
Hi, thank you all for being here. I want to thank the trustees and Dr. Cruz for making what I know wasn't an easy decision, but from the families we've spoken to, I think pretty broadly felt to be a good decision, the right decision. As Trustee Rodriguez said, it doesn't impact all families equally. We know that. I think this is an opportunity for families to come together to do what we do naturally, to support each other. We're experts in our kids, and we're experts at coming together to fill gaps and to support each other, and this is the time to make that happen. Thank you all for that, and I hope we will also support teachers, because this is not easy for them either, and we appreciate all the hard work that will go in from them as well. Thank you.
I do want to thank again our board members for being here today. Ken with Education Austin, Lynn with ACPTA, Adrian Williams, who's representing our administrative organization. This is a large organization, and it takes a lot of people of goodwill who care about our kids. And again, you see that representation here, but there are many who are working right now to make sure that our schools are going to be safe for all of our students. So with that, I do want to thank all of our administrators and our families, our teachers, who are key in our work. I want to thank them for their work and for their patience as we're working through these issues as a school system and as a community. With that, I'll open it up to questions at this time.
What about
They're going to go later.
how long is the district committed to paying hourly employees?
We pass a resolution to continue the pay. I know that we're going to be looking to see the impact of it, but we have made that commitment. So that is, the school funding system will continue coming to us. Our commissioner has been talking to us about that, and so that will continue. We're going to be looking at that regularly to see the impact, but that is our commitment, to continue to pay people. I don't want my staff members to be worried about getting paid and coming to school when perhaps they shouldn't. I want to make sure that they feel that, and that's why this board took that action, and that's why I support that we need to make sure that our staff members are paid.
What kind of impact on graduation?
At this point, we do not know. We do not know the long-term impacts. As you all know, today, our governor and the commissioner announced that they were canceling the STAR assessments. Now, there will be guidance that will be coming to our school districts about what that means to our students. I've received some preliminary information, but quite honestly, I was on that phone call and had to start coming over here, so I didn't get to hear everything. But that is an issue that just happened today around 10:30 or so, or 10 o'clock perhaps, that we're going to be sharing with our community. There will be an impact to it, I will say that. I do think there will be an impact. What that's going to be, I don't know yet. But our intent is to make sure that students then are still meeting promotion standards and also graduating.
With regard to cleaning the facilities and transportations, what methods or contractors are you considering, knowing that virucides and microbials also hamper the immune system? Have you gotten that far on that discussion yet?
I can actually provide additional information on the actual cleaning and so forth, but our individuals are working with experts to make sure that we are providing the resources that are necessary to make sure that our facilities are clean for our students. Keeping in mind that we educate students between the ages of 3 and 26. So it's not any one age group. But nonetheless, that's where we get our information from our experts around school safety.
Are you accepting bids from contractors?
This is really about what we're doing for our students and for our families, and we're going to keep it at that. The impacts of that, we will be sharing additional information.
You said there will be an impact from canceling the STARS and all of that. What do you think that could be, just from your experience? What should parents start to be thinking about in students?
Well, I don't know, because we work under the state of Texas with the Texas guidance from the Texas Education Agency. What I do know is that we have systems that are a part of law around grade placements and grade placement committees. So what I would think is those would come into play to see where students are meeting performance standards. We also have systems in place that we're monitoring student achievement. So STAR is not our only method to measure if students are, what they're learning and what they're not learning. So all of our teachers, all of our principals monitor student performance on a regular basis, so we know how our kids are doing. We don't only rely on the STAR test to make that determination.
And losing out on these 2 weeks of school, is there a way to make that up? Is that even being thought about, or is it just considered lost time?
It actually is being thought about, and right now the state is working through waivers to waive those minutes of instruction, and we need to go through that information to see what will be made up or not. That guidance is coming from the Texas Education Agency. What we've been told is to make sure that that our schools are safe for our students. That's the goal.
And could it be, though, that the school goes into summer then, or is that one of the thoughts, that maybe we're looking at a June end of semester?
Yeah, it's too hard to speculate what that's going to be, because what I don't know right now is how long this is going to last. Remember, I did say that it's 2 weeks. Now, spring break is coming to an end. So spring break will end, but we're going to cancel classes, and we're going to have modified work schedules. That's what I know right now. Could it change later on? It could.
And Dr. Cruz, more detail about the food sites you mentioned. How many are there going to be, and where, what locations?
Absolutely. You know, our food services director is just, and her staff members, they're just phenomenal. We had already been planning for a situation like this, so the specific sites and that information will be on our website. We'll be sharing that with our families. We already have a strong network with our parent support specialists who can get that information to our families. And so that really, rather than naming all the different sites, the information is there. We're looking at also other ways to, this one right here is around curbside pickup. We're also working with other agencies to see if we can actually deliver food to specific students and families.
Okay, last question. Well, on the state testing, when you found out this morning that the state was waiving the STAR testing requirements, personally, what was your reaction? What were your thoughts about whether that was a good move or not?
To me, what it showed to me is that the governor and our commissioner are thinking about us. They're thinking about our students and our families, and they want to make sure that any type of support they can offer, they're going to do it. And so that's what it shared, that's what I took away from it. Keep in mind that I don't only wear the hat of a superintendent and looking at that impact there on learning, I'm also a parent. So the things that we're experiencing as parents, I see that too, and my wife and I are having those experiences as well, and the questions that you have as well. I just don't have any type of long-term impact at this point, but that's where the guidance is coming in from the state, from the governor, and from our commissioner. Okay, with that, I would like to, in this time, it's just, you know, I love our community. I do. I love our Austin community, because when good times are good, we're there and we're celebrating. When we have situations that are challenging, we're there to help one another. And already that's been evidenced by my team, our staff members, our parents, the representatives who are here today. And then also with HEB, I'd like to have Felicia Peña to come forward, who is the public affairs manager with HEB, with an announcement. And again, it's just something that supports our work and individuals and agencies coming to support our kids and our families. Felicia?
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. Thank you all for having us today. As you all know, HEB is committed to serving our neighbors and our communities during this time of crisis, and we are excited to announce that we are going to be helping the ISD Crisis Fund by committing $100,000 to jumpstart those efforts to feed families during this time of crisis. We are grateful that AISD took this early response to this crisis, and we are just so thankful to be able to work alongside them and feed our communities. So we hope that our gift will continue to jumpstart these efforts and hope that our community also supports AISD during this time. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you for everyone for being here. If anyone needs Spanish language, we can do that separately. But as of now, I appreciate everyone being here and taking the time to share what's going on for our students and staff.
Thank you, Dr.